Welcome back to the tragic life of Marvel Zombies Spider-Man. This is our last part of the story, so if you haven't seen the last parts, I would highly recommend it. Today we will be covering Marvel Zombies Return. Let's not waste any more time and finally finish this tragic story. We open up with the Watcher explaining to us all the events we had seen thus far. As he is done explaining, he watches as Spider-Man is transported to another Earth, one that was a lot like his before the outbreak.
Malcolm, don't do it! Wait, where am I? This doesn't look like New Wakanda. I guess Malcolm and Forge perfected Reed Richards' interdimensional portal, like they said. They must have sent me to some other world. A vibrant world, too. Unpolluted by our kind. The Manhattan I come from is ruined husk, like the carcass of some hollowed-out animal. All thanks to us, me, Giant Man, Wolverine, the other quote-unquote super zombies. I should get the lay of the land, see if any of them got teleported to this world too. Force of habit. Fill these skyscrapers. I almost tried to use my organic web shooters, but they dried up right after I died. Fortunately, I still have the cosmic flight powers I swallowed from Galactus. No! My cosmic powers, what happened to them? My veins and arteries! This suit is incredibly painful, but beggars can't be choosers. One of my molecules were reassembled in this world. The cosmic energies that changed them must have not come with me. Or at least, that's the only reasonable explanation I can think of. Oh well, I'll have to make do with the powers I already have, I suppose.
Damn, something stinks.
The date on this paper, it's years ago. Back when the living Peter Parker was in college. I seem to have been teleported in time as well as in space. Wait. This I remember. Both of the city's mob leaders, Kingpin and Silvermane, were after this tablet, which, if properly deciphered, reveals the key to eternal youth. I don't believe my luck! It's some kind of sign! If I get to the tablet first, unlock its secret myself. Maybe I can get rid of myself of this curse. I can become a hero again. Redeem myself for eating my wife, Mary Jane, and my Aunt May from my home dimension at the start of the outbreak. Even more importantly, I can rid the world of the zombie plague forever. I've got to get my hands on that tablet now.
We cut to this world's Peter Parker walking with his friends Harry, MJ, and Gwen. All of them are just having fun walking onto campus. Zombie Spider-Man can be seen watching them but keeping a closer eye on this world's Mary Jane. Zombie Spider-Man states how he forgot how young, beautiful, and alive Mary Jane is. He states how he loved the feeling of her blood rolling down his chin, and how he just wants to swing down there and rip her throat out again. Peter calms himself down and tells himself to control the hunger. He quickly switches the subject to try to find the tablet. Not even a second later, this world's Sinister Six comes out to attack the citizens on campus. This world's Peter rushes out to change into Spider-Man. Zombie Spider-Man tells himself that he has to save everyone, so he jumps in to try to fight this world's Sinister Six. However, when he jumps in, he seems to be losing control of the hunger.
My zombie senses are tingling. They detect the presence of meat. Warm living meat. Creamy center.
After brutally killing Kraven and Mysterio, Zombie Spider-Man proceeds to kill the rest of the six. He electrocutes Doc Ock with Electro and rips Vulture's arms and wings off to slash Electro's head off. Sandman is terrified and confused and yells at Spider-Man that he isn't supposed to do this. He's the good guy. Sandman proceeds to run off in fear. We cut to this world's Kingpin who found the tablet. He notices Zombie Spider-Man and proceeds to rip his shirt off and jump at him, which leads to Zombie Spider-Man eating him too. We cut to Sandman still running away until he encounters his world's Spider-Man. Remember, Sandman doesn't know that there are two different Spider-Men in his world right now. Sandman goes insane and starts screaming at Spider-Man, saying that if he doesn't care about life, he won't hold back. This world, Spider-Man mentions how his spider sense is going completely out of control, saying how Sandman is out for his blood. Sandman proceeds to beat the living hell out of Spider-Man until he goes fully bloodlusted. Okay, this part is extremely dark and graphic, so if you think it'll make you uncomfortable, I would recommend skipping to this time. Sandman forcefully pours himself into Spider-Man, and Spider-Man begins to fall over and start choking. As Spider-Man struggles to stand on his feet, he starts losing his mind and cries out for Gwen. Spider-Man explodes with his organs, bones, and sand pouring out of him. Sandman leaves his remains in the alleyway.
So good. I know I promised myself I wouldn't fight them like this, but the hunger just took over. Maybe I can only feed on the bad guys. Did Morbius the living vampire try that once? That way, no innocent people get hurt. I stave off the hunger from time to time. Everybody's happy. Of course, that's just temporary. Soon I'll have the tablet, and I'll be normal again. A real hero. What is... No. Stop! What are you doing? Those were my friends! I was going to save them! Despite my best efforts and good intentions, I failed. Not only are all my loved ones dead, but the tablet is gone. The exhibit hall was broken into while I was busy trying to prove to myself what a hero I was. What a joke. A hero? Me? With this face? Face it, Parker, you'll never be human again. Never! There's nothing but the hunger and unlife, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever! What use is this face? This useless, rotting face? No one is left to love more than Peter Parker, so I never want to look at him again! Why don't things ever seem to turn out right for me? Why do I seem to hurt people, no matter how much I try not to? Is this the price I always pay for being Zombie Spider-Man?
It's been 2 years since the incident with Spider-Man. Kitty Pryde is seen running from a group of ninjas when she is met by Zombie Wolverine. Zombie Wolverine jumps at Kitty Pryde, but she phases through him. Wolverine then eats the ninjas that were chasing her. After he is done eating the ninjas, he quickly turns around for the main course. That's when we see Zombie Spider-Man jump in and throw Zombie Wolverine through a wall, saving Kitty Pryde.
This is gonna sound corny, kid, but come with me if you want to live.
Spider-Man swings off with Kitty Pryde, and she asks him what's going on and what happened to Wolverine. Spider-Man says that he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and that's not the Wolverine she knows. Spider-Man explains that the Wolverine she saw is from his world, and explains that him and that Wolverine are from a different dimension. Spider-Man says he'll tell her everything once they get to his lab.
You see, it all started with the flash in the sky. Once the infection spread through the superhuman community, the world was done. Spread was global and it was complete. Everyone died. Everyone. If these monsters had their way, all of the time and space would have been a buffet for them, an endless orgy of gluttony and destruction. They were that close. They were ready to step into another world, a new feeding ground. Maybe it was the unpredictable cosmic powers coursing through their bodies, or maybe it was the flittering buffers of the transporter. But when Zombie Wolverine appeared in your world, he no longer possessed the power of Cosmic. The loss of those energies made the infected Wolverine paranoid. For months he hid in the shadows, feeding only on the homeless, devouring them completely so that none of them would rise as zombies, competing for the same prey. But as time passed, his confidence returned, and now he's hunting openly. If unchecked, he could start a new plague on this world. Your world, Kitty. After I learned about this, I began working on a vaccine, a formula for controlling the virus.
You mean you can cure Wolverine?
Cure? No. Nothing can cure him. But if I'm correct, then I might be able to save him. Right now, he's trapped by the unending hungers of infection. His hunger has driven him insane. But I believe that this vaccine can dampen the fires of his appetite long enough for him to consider what he's doing and to make better choices.
Then you have to use the vaccine before shoot-fly spreads.
It's not that easy. The zombie Wolverine's healing factor was overwhelmed by the infection, rendering it essentially inert. In order to create a vaccine that will return him to sanity, I'll need some matching blood from your Wolverine.
As Spider-Man is studying more of the vaccine, Kitty notices that there's a ton of flies everywhere in the room. She finds out where the smell is coming from and phases through the wall to find...
I wish you hadn't done that, Kitty. I had hoped to spare you, but now it's time for the truth.
Kitty Pryde screams in fear. Spider-Man tries to calm her down, saying he's not going to do anything to her. Spider-Man explains that yes, he is a zombie. However, he only eats bad people, like criminals or killers. Spider-Man says he's been eating Wolverine's leftovers to keep his sanity, and that he wants to save this world. Kitty asks if how she could know this isn't a trick. Spider-Man says that she is one of the only few people that can't get infected because of her phasing ability. He gives her a sharp stick and tells her that she can just phase it through his head if he ever did try anything. Moments later, Spider-Man and Kitty find that zombie Wolverine is fighting this Earth's Wolverine. This Earth's Wolverine manages to knock out zombie Wolverine without getting infected, but immediately attacks zombie Spider-Man because he can tell that he's a zombie too. Wolverine tells him he has 1 second to explain everything to him.
And your mutant healing factor will be the catalyst.
This is nuts, even by my standards. Spider-Man gets a sample of this world's Wolverine's blood and tells both Logan and Kitty that he is going to find the others. Spider-Man proceeds to swing off with zombie Wolverine. Before we get into our last part of the story, I must go over a few things that help further the overall plot of the story. Zombie Giant Man that was transported from the transporter back on the other Earth ate this universe's Watcher and now has the power to go wherever he wants in this universe. He is also trying to find out a way to transport himself throughout the multiverse to get an infinite food source. Giant Man infects this universe's Hulk, who was heading towards Earth at the time. He's now headed there to feed. When Hulk gets back to Earth, it's absolute chaos. He's devouring everyone and everything. Now this part is absolutely crucial to the story because we are now introduced to this Earth Sentry. Sentry tried everything in his power to stop the Hulk, but quickly gets infected and turns into a zombie, joining the Hulk in this endless nightmare.
Dude, this just keeps getting worse. Giant Man and I may be the same infected world, but he hasn't beaten the hunger like me. I need some backup before these guys eat all these poor innocent people, and I know exactly where to get it.
It's been 2 years since Sentry's been infected. This world, just like the previous one, is now dead, gone and left to rot for an eternity. Spider-Man failed to save this Earth. The only remaining zombified heroes are now Sentry, Moon Knight, Quasar, Super-Skrull, Quicksilver, and Tundra. We learn that the other heroes that were transported to this Earth have all been killed. Luke Cage, Wasp, and Black Panther. And it seems many other heroes and villains were killed by this zombie team as well. We find out that Giant Man from the previous Earth is working alongside them and gathering the greatest minds on this planet, literally, and is using their intelligence to find a way to travel to other worlds. Eventually, the zombie team, we're just going to call them that from now on, starts looking for any survivors on the planet and are discussing heading towards the Savage Land. They are soon shot down and crash land in the middle of nowhere. But who could have shot them down if all the heroes are dead? Well, it turns out Spider-Man is alive. Not well, but alive. He seems to have gathered the Hulk, Wolverine, and Iron Man on his side. And they're planning on wiping every zombie from existence. Every single one. It's an all-out war between Team Spider-Man and Team Sentry. It's pure zombified chaos. Spider-Man has something in a canister that he'll kill the zombies for sure. but he can't use it just yet. Hulk kills Tundra by ripping her in half. Quicksilver steals the canister on Spider-Man's back, but Spider-Man rips Quicksilver's head off before he can get too far. However, probably due to body shock, Quicksilver's body keeps running and running as Wolverine is fighting Sentry. Sentry punches Wolverine away and is going to end this whole thing for good. He's going to use all his power to explode everyone. But before he could do that, Giant Man teleports everyone to the Watcher's hideout in space. Giant Man finally found the solution for the multiverse transportation. It's Sentry. His power is the key. Spider-Man and Iron Man get the canister from Quicksilver, and Wolverine slices it open to reveal...
Sand? Your secret weapon against us is sand? Are we supposed to be impressed? Tony Stark developed nanites to attack disease and decaying flesh, an anathema to our kind. Only problem with them, when Jim Rhodes brought them to me, was that you couldn't disperse them through the air. So I tracked down an old friend, insulated him with the vaccine I made from Wolverine's still-living healing factor-laced blood, and laced his body with nanomachines. Bon appetit. Thank you. Thank you, Flit. Mary Jane and Aunt May are avenged.
And with that, our story finally concludes with Marvel Zombie Spider-Man peacefully dying. Who says he's dead? You see, the Watcher never died in this universe. He explains he cannot be killed by other universe beings. He tells both Sandman and Zombie Sentry that this problem cannot be fixed, but only contained. What is done cannot be undone. So what does the Watcher do? He sends Sentry back to the beginning, back before the zombie plague ever occurred, back on Earth 2149. The Sentry we saw first in this story is the same one from the other world. This whole time we were stuck in a paradox. Spider-Man will remain the rest of eternity suffering in a never-ending nightmare. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed our journey through the tragic life of Marvel Zombie Spider-Man.